Hello everyone, Johnny Minder here. And today we are continuing to learn Japanese with Pokémon FireRed. Last time we finished going around Viridian City. Then went, instead of going up to the route required to continue the game, we went to the left, Route 22, because there was our rival, an optional battle against him that we barely won. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, we got to see what he had to say. Yeah, we tackled that. So yeah, today we'll first and foremost check the little that remains of Route 22 so for now, and then we'll actually go up, starting with Route 2 and then everything else. Okay, without further ado, let's start. Okay, our summary here starts with getting the town map. Ooh, should have kept that a little more. Yeah, we left our house because we went around to check it. Yeah, we went also through Route 1 the previous time. got the TCTV or Therapy. Oh yeah, last time we started with talking to the old man again. To see these, since we didn't have the time. And yeah, we defeated our rival there. And yeah, we saved in Route 22. So yeah, we continue to the left here for now. Okay. Yeah, better that we didn't get anything there. And yeah, here this sign says Koko wa Pokémon Rigu Shoumen Geto. The usual Koko, part of the Kosovo series. Ko goes to both the speaker and the listener. So far from the speaker goes to the listener, far from both, though the interrogative Koso are usually an accented on to itself. With the Ko, this place, so yeah, here, topic particle var, it has a ha, so yeah, as for here, Pokémon Rigu, Pokémon League, it, as in it's the Pokémon League. And then after that we have Showman. A Chinese compound, as you might have guessed. This one means front. Literally, it's front part. Well, even more, actually more literally, front face. We could say also surface. And so yeah, the front, the facade also of something. Yeah, Chinese compound. Okay, good thing I actually checked, because this is an exception. It's accented on men. It's on the me. So yeah, irregular, be careful. Let me quickly actually get to the physical dictionary. Got the physical dictionary, because honestly I want to check if it's present as a suffix. Well, technically in this case it wouldn't be part of that, being two a compound but of 2 kanji. But that could still be why we get this weird accent. No, actually, as a suffix, luckily, there it's a proper suffix, so usually, as we have seen, after smaller Chinese compounds and so on. So as the third, at the very least, third kanji of a word, it's accented before it. So yeah, it's simply weird. Good thing we checked. And then the other word, pretty easy, gato, gate from English. So yeah, that should be accented just like in English, but we check. It is perfect. Oh yeah, so yeah, simply says the front. As for here, it's the Pokémon League front gate. Yeah, we'll actually enter it a second here. Yeah, here. Let's try to talk to the guard from here. I think it might be the same, but we'll see. This guy says Kokokara Sakiwa Honto ni Tsuyoi. Then it clearly continues actually. So yeah, let's focus on Kokokara for now, Sakiwa. Koko again. Kara from here, from this point we could also see from this place. Then we have Saki, a noun of strictly Japanese origin we have already seen a lot. Yeah, because it's a quite important word actually. Tip and in its physical and I'd say most likely original meaning, fundamental meaning. But then by extension it becomes a head, as we have seen, technically again front, but yeah, usually a head, physically or temporally, unaccented. And yeah, then we have the topic particle Y again. So yeah, literally would be as for a head from here. Oh yeah, then actually let's move this. Oh yeah, it says Honto ni Tsuyoi Pokémon Torena Dake. First we have a Honto. Quite an important Chinese compound, quite used in Japanese, as in the sense, should be unaccented, but we'll check. Not sure why. Oh yeah, but it's of course lucky in case I need, yeah, because it's not working properly the online dictionary, but luckily we have anyway our physical one, so if needed I can check there. Honto, usually as can be seen here with the ni to make an adverb with the meaning really, truly, and so on. I'm really not sure why of that. Let me check the accent while with the physical dictionary. So good thing I got it already. But yeah, Chinese compound. So yeah, I feel like, and also based on what I've heard myself, even though Honto, yeah, unaccented luckily. Yeah, technically, fundamentally would be a noun, truth, reality, and so on. The online dictionary charged. Of course, one of those that takes also the possessive particle no to make in practice an adjective. So yeah, true, real, and so on. Something, no, and then the noun. Here with the ni, as mentioned. So yeah, actually, the adverb truly, really, and so on. Here, yeah, the adverb, because after it we have tsuyoi, the adjective, which means strong. This one is accented, we have seen it before. Oh yeah, well, let's ignore that. Then it's, we have Pokémon Torena, Pokémon Trainer. Then we have Dake, only a particle. This, I feel like, is actually one of those particles, based on what I remember. There are some particles that, well, actually there are more than one variant of their usage. Not sure if for all or most of these. But yeah, there are some particles that can make the preceding word always unaccented. And if I recall correctly, dake is one of them. Let me quickly find it here in the dictionary. Okay, not this part here. Not this one. Verbs, adjectives, those. Oh yeah, I can find it right now, but there's that technically. But yeah. So the meaning, as mentioned, only, I'd say maybe for, or maybe it continues actually. Really strong Pokemon trainers, I'd say most likely the plural, as in general. Okay, yeah, and there was something missing, that it's the verb toremas. Yeah, we have seen it before. Toru should be unaccented, but we'll check. Oh yeah, now okay, it actually loaded immediately. Okay, now good thing I checked it, because I was misremembering. We have seen it before. Oh yeah, it's actually accented and accented on the to, because yeah, to-o becomes of course long vowel. So the accent can stay on the long vowel, so the to instead. Toru, to go, by, to pass through, and so on. Verb colon verb, so we can change the u into e. To add, and then add ru, can be seen here because of further conjugation, to make the potential form of the verb. And so yeah, can go by, pass through, however you want to translate it. Potential form is a ru verb, it's a verb, so yeah, we can drop the ru to make the continuative form, and then in this case to add mas, the auxiliary, which is used to make the polite form of the verb. So yeah, it said that ahead of here, only really strong Pokemon trainers can go through, can pass through. And then it says Anata wa gure baji o mada motte masenne. First we have Anata. Yeah. You, as we have seen, second person singular. In Japanese there is the difference, unlike English. Pronoun. Traditionally polite, a polite way to call you someone, of course, still of equal or lower status, though for a higher status we have more on straight up honorific forms. Nowadays actually often regarded as rude, or at the very least distant, although of course also straight up used when needed, when you don't know the name of the person, although yeah, the most common way to actually say you technically in Japanese is actually saying the name of the person then plus san or other suffixes like it, or the title, or as we have seen also those the usage of those words of used for family, then adapted into it. We have seen Oji-san, old man from grandfather, Oji-san, middle-aged man from uncle, and so on. But yeah, here it's simply a generic you. Potentially at also distant. But yeah. Then we have the wa, again the topic particle. And then we have this gure baji. And yeah, we have this anticipation, as we see. This gray badge is the name of the first badge that we'll get. Yeah, it's an anticipation of that. Baji, we have already seen that should be accented on the first mora, just like in English. Yeah, luckily gure also on the re, like in English, of course. Yeah, the gray badge. Then we have the object particle o, written as one, pronounced as such in careful speech and also singing. Then we have mada. Not yet. Yeah, of course, usually with accent on the ma, on the first mora. Yeah, with a verb in the negative. Verb, which in our case is motte masen. First from motsu, to hold, technically in hand, but then we have seen in general, and by extension also to possess, to have. Motsu, verb, code verb, so to make that a form, like here we have to follow the rules. It's in su, so it becomes, we drop the e, we change the u into e to make the continuative form. Moti te, originally without the changes, ta of the tagyo, of the taro, tachi tsu te to, so tati tu te to originally was in classical Japanese. So yeah, moti te, but then the e fell, mot te, yeah, simply the doubling of the following consonant. The form required because then we had actually iru, The E of Iru can be seen because of a contraction, but yeah, it comes from that. Iru on its own to be as in to exist, of animate things. Here, well, its usage after the form of a verb, it's used for a continuing action or state. Yeah, as for its conjugation, we drop ru verb is and verb, we drop the ru. Only E, the continuative form, would remain without the contraction. And then we had massen, which is again from mass, but this one is actually the negative form in the present, potentially present used as a simple future also. But yeah, the present negative form of mass. Last but not least, we have ne, the final sentence particle. Don't you would be in this case. But yeah, so the translation is as for you, you don't have, literally, more literally would be, you are not holding the gray badge yet. And so yeah. Yeah, after that it says Kimari desu kara Tosu wake ni wa ikimasen. Yeah, first we have this Kimari. Comes clearly from the verb kimaru. Should be an accented actually, because we've seen kimeru, the transitive form of the verb. Notice again one in eru, the transitive, the intransitive in aru. Most likely the intransitive is actually a classical form of the passive. So yeah, is decided, to be decided. And funny enough, actually, it's straight up present in the translation, can also be seen of kimaru, to be decided, to be settled, to be fixed, to be arranged. Yeah, the fundamental one, to be decided. U verb, colon verb, so we can change the U into I to make the continuative form, and so the corresponding noun. Literally would be implies something which is decided, and so by extension this actually becomes a rule, regulation, other meanings also depend, extended ones, but yeah, this is the fundamental one, I would say, of Kimari. The fundamental one, because actually there's another Kimaru, which would be more, well, as can be seen actually from the translations of Kimari, other meanings can be conclusion and settlement, technically, agreement, arrangement. So again, from something that has been decided in that sense. But yeah, no, the fundamental one is, say, the one that actually is used here, rule. Unaccented, luckily, like the verb, it's regular. Then we have the des, the copula, the polite one. Yeah, we have seen this person already use mass, so unsurprising. Then we have kara. Here, not the particle which we have seen with the meaning from. This is used as a conjunction because, since, because is the fundamental one. So yeah, as in Oh yeah, so because it's a rule, and then it continues. Tosu, we have the transitive form of Toru. Well, it's worth mentioning actually that Toru yeah, intransitive, but technically intransitive, but can actually be used with the object particle, but in the sense of passing through a certain place. So it's used in that sense, but still technically intransitive. More than intransitive, I'd say. In that case, someone does the action of passing through a certain place, which is marked by the object particle. This one, Tosu, means to let pass. And yeah, notice again the intransitive in Ru, the transitive in Su. So I suspect that the transitive, and also can be seen by the translation, is actually a form of the causative in classical Japanese. Not as clear in this case. We only have the Su, but yeah, still actually related. Su, which by the way is most likely a form of modern contemporary Suru, to do. But yeah, leaving that aside, to let pass as mentioned. After that we have Wake. Wake is a noun. So yeah, in practice, technically we have a verb in attributive position. If there were more, it would be straight up a relative clause, referred and modifying the noun, which is Wake, as mentioned here. Wanted to check its accent. It's, as for its meaning, is reason, cause, grounds. It loaded in the meantime, but yeah, the fundamental one is reason, as mentioned, accented on the first more. So yeah, as I remembered, actually, Wake. Then we have this ni. To, actually required, as we say, by this expression. Then we have the topic particle wa. It's worth mentioning that the topic particle, one of its other usages, is actually together with the negative form of the verb. Technically, because you would consider, quote unquote, the topic what's before the wa, the topic particle, but to put more focus technically on the verb, on the negative verb. So you will also see again this usage of wa with the negative. Actually, we have seen it, for example, with also straight up the negative of the copula. Dewa nai. But yeah. After that, last but not least, we have ikimasen from iku, an accent to go, verb colon verb, so we can change the u into i to make the continuative form, to attach again masen, make the negative in polite form. So yeah, literally would be it doesn't go into a reason. So yeah, it's actually an expression. I wonder if I find it here with this wake. Not that one. Yeah, here I found it, by the way. But yeah, it's simply actually an expression then to say that cannot In particular, technically, due to external circumstances. So there's a reason, yeah, you can see now why we have Wacker, for which cannot, must not, and so on. Yeah, so our translation here is, as mentioned, because it's the rule, I cannot let you implied pass through. Yeah. So it figuratively doesn't go into a reason, but yeah, in the sense that it can become a reason. Technically, wake actually means also yes, as mentioned, reason, cause, other extended meanings, but yeah, in that sense. So yeah, if I actually go here, it says the same. So yeah, we've actually checked already. And yeah, if you try going like that, you get sent back. Yeah, so we can actually go down, exit. Yeah, we'll go down here. So yeah, we finally get to see this part here. Yeah, I did that because I quickly show without, yeah, this is the state of our team after that rival battle. I would like to check the grass here at least once. Yeah, first we really need to heal anyway. I want to show at least one kind of... would like to catch at least one Pokemon there. And show what kinds of Pokemon you can find there. Okay. Yeah, we quickly go back to Route 22. For that, and yeah, I keep Bulbasaur for this. Yeah, good thing we actually didn't encounter any. Yeah, especially considering that, yeah, we have this one. Monkey. Yeah, the usual expression here. A wild monkey jumped out, okay, towards our protagonist here. Go Fushigidane, Bulbasaur. So a good thing I did this. I feel like if I used this, I might risk defeating it. So actually I use this. Okay. Yeah, and then I use simply Nakigoe. To lower its attack, but yeah, more to not attack it. We have seen Hikaku against Charmander. It's technically not just Kaku on its own would be Scratch. Hikaku seems to be specifically with a claw. So yeah, that's why apparently it's used that one specifically. Yeah, like this a little. As soon as it goes into the yellow, which should be not this turn, the next one, I'll try throwing a Pokeball. Yeah, no, actually this one. I'll try using a Pokeball. I don't remember if we have checked out the potions, but yeah, we'll find eventually more. So, in case we'll check out that later. If needed, I can simply straight out buy one. They're found in shops easily. Yeah, with that, we caught Monkey. yeah, again, that gets added to the Pokédex. So yeah, we have these to check out. First and foremost, of course, the name Monkey. Yeah, the same as in English. I still check it on Bulbapedia just to be completely sure, but yeah, straight up we have man. Yeah, except for the pronunciation, of course. It's identical to English, yeah, from man, man in Japanese, and monkey. Yeah, it's worth mentioning that monkey in Japanese should be, actually, I look it up, but it should be monkey with the O. The accent is the same as in English, so yeah, actually closer to how it's written than the pronunciation. Of course, then it depends on the many variants of English, technically, in a way. But yeah, on the mo, yeah, here simply like in its English name. Yeah, the English name is based straight up the same as the Japanese one. Then we have this Butazaru Pokemon. I try looking it up in the sense that I'm curious to see if it's straight up a word in Japanese. It clearly comes from nope. It comes from Buta. Pig. We check its accent. So yeah, straight up pig. Unaccented, okay. And then we have this Zaru, actually from Saru. This one should be accented on the first Mora, but we'll check. Here with the voicing, because actually it becomes, in practice, a compound. And the second word is of strictly even... its first Mora gets voiced. We've seen it happen in such compounds, especially when the second word is of strictly Japanese origin, like Saru. Yeah, Saru is monkey. Accent on the first Mora. So yeah, literally would be pig, monkey, Pokemon. So yeah, actually, here we can see in Japanese, I don't remember in English how it is, but yeah, you can, here it's clear. Why it has a pig nose, then we have the usual height, half a meter, weight, 28 kilos, and then last but not least we have before I forget, actually on the top, on the very top, we have Yamano Pokemon. And yeah, first we have, foremost we have Yama, mountain. Should be accent on the last syllable, but we'll check. Even if it is in this case, it becomes unaccented because of no. That's the rule of no. Makes words accented on the last syllable, straight, not just Mora, but straight up syllable technically, based on what I've seen. Unaccented. Yeah, mountain. Pokemon. Literally Pokemon of mountain. Of course, in reverse. Oh yeah, accent on the syllable Yama. Oh yeah, as for its description, it says Mi no konashi ga karuku kyobo na seikaku. First and foremost, we have this mi no konashi. Yeah, get it ready for its accent. Actually can be seen already straight up anyway. That it's with me, which is, and now I've straight up seen its kanji there. But yeah, it was clearly the mi for body. Notice that it isn't the usual. We've seen the strictly Japanese term for body in Japanese, karada. Should be an accented, yeah. This is another one, mi, an accented, yeah, still body. More specifically, technically, one's body, one's person, by extension, then oneself, but and other meanings, but yeah. So yeah, that's the difference. One body in general, this one one's body technically. Here also straight up used technically for the compound. Oh yeah, here we have the, then the possessive particle no to attach it to the following word, which is konashi. Which comes from a verb, unsurprisingly, notice the E at the end, konasu. It means, it has several meanings. Technically, it would be to digest, an accent konasu, to break down, to break to pieces, to crush. By extension, it becomes also to be able to use, to be good at, to have a good command of. We've seen it actually before in a previous series, I think, maybe Kirby's Adventure, maybe even more than that. Used as the second verb, part of a compound, it becomes to do well, to do completely. You can see why, based on the fundamental meaning. Here we simply verb go and verb, we change the U into E to make the continuative form and so the corresponding noun. Konashi, luckily still unaccented, means carriage, as in actually the movement of the body. So you can see there from that to have a good command of the body, technically. And yeah, this mi no konashi, then can't find the accent of it, but yeah, we have already seen both terms unaccented, so it should still be unaccented. And yeah, it means carriage, poise, bearing, demeanor, movement of the body. So, further specifying the meaning of konashi by expliciting of the body, of one's body, technically, but of the body then in general, in this case. Subject particle ga. Then we have a karuku from karui, which means light, as in the opposite of heavy. Let's check its accent. Unaccented, yeah. I thought so, but yeah, that's the case. Here we have the adjective. We drop the E and add ku to make the adverbial form of the verb, of the adjective. Sorry. We can also call it a continuative form of the adjective, technically. It's also used for further conjugation other than as an adverb, like in this case. The accent, if accented, the accent will move on the third to last mora. Here it's unaccented, should stay unaccented. Karuku. Yeah, actually, here, I think more than actually the E form, more than the adverbial form used as an adverb could be, but I think based on the context it isn't. it's actually straight up the continuative form of the adjective, and so in the usage we have seen of the continuative form for verbs, which is whatever that verb, in our case adjective, says and the rest of the sentence. Notice that actually usually we would use the form for such a meaning. And the form, by the way, originally is a continuative form of an auxiliary in classical Japanese. But yeah, same meaning, but this one is more formal. And yeah, unsurprisingly actually used here for the Pokédex. More formal or even straight up written language. Yeah, no, I have actually seen it also. Yeah, so that. Then we have Kyobo, an adjective, as can be seen because of the it's straight up present here. Chinese compound, so we check here its accent in a second. But yeah, this one means rage. Frenzy, another good translation, yeah, that it came up. An accent, yeah, like usually Chinese compounds are. Yeah, an adjective as mentioned, because then it modifies seikaku. We check the accent, another Chinese compound, but I feel like this one could be. Well, we'll see. In general, we have seen that the accents for Chinese compounds, apart from some exceptions, like we have seen showman, usually it's either unaccented, more often than not, at least based on what we have seen so far, or accent on the first mora. This one, seikaku, unaccented, okay. So that. Actually. No, this one, okay, still same. Because actually there are more than one seikaku. But yeah, based on the context, this one is a character of a person. Personality, disposition, nature. By extension, characteristics, nature also of a thing, event, and so on. But yeah, usually character, personality of a person, or in our case, of a Pokemon. So yeah, here it says that it's carriage, as in it's control of its body is light, so yeah, is nimble. We would then by adapting it, we would say it's nimble or something along those lines, and has ragey, a frenzied character, personality. Yeah, the typical of Mankey, as we have. If you have played already these games, or we've actually seen it also in actually in Pokemon Snap. Yeah, that's that's that. Then it says Okotte abareruto tega tsukerare naku naru. First and foremost, we have Okotte from Okoru. We check its accent. I feel accented, but we'll see. To get angry. We straight up get that now. As mentioned, yeah, accented. Verb become verb. So to make that a form, we have to follow the rules. It's in rules, so it becomes. First, we change the U into E to make the continuative form. Okorite, but then they fell. Okorte, difficult to pronounce, became double consonant of doubling of the following consonant. So, Okotte. that form again used as do the action of the verb and the rest of the sentence, or we could say also by doing the action of the verb in te, while doing, and so on. Then we have abareru, another verb perfect for this Pokemon, because it means to rage, to act violently, to struggle technically also, but yeah, better to act violently, to rage. The accent, an accent, okay, abareru. After that, we have the top. So actually one of the forms of the conditional in Japanese, if, when, so actually also can have a temporal meaning. If, when, this one is the closest one to the zero conditional in English, so yeah, if when that happens, then something inevitably also happens. Then we have te, which this te should be the usual one from hand, which we have seen, we have even studied this kanji accented on its own. Also several other extended meanings. Then we have the subject particle gap. After that we have tsukerare naku, and naru technically. First we have tsukeru, from tsukeru. The u of tsu is barely heard if at all, so actually tsuke. Yeah, the usual tsukeru we have seen. To attach, to join, to apply, to add. All those meanings. Here, tsukeru is a ru verb, it's an verb, so we can change the u into a and then add re ru. The ru can be seen because of further conjugation, to make the passive form of the verb. Technically can also be the potential form of the verb. And I think actually might be in the potential sense in this case, but we'll see. It's actually, I cannot anticipate this straight up an expression. But yeah. Skerareru. Ru verb, it's done verb because yeah, the passive or potential form in this case for verbs, it's done verbs anyway, are also verbs, it's done verbs. So we can drop the ru to make the irrealis, not yet state form, the negative form of the verb, and yeah, required to add nai, the adjective which means non-existent on its own, used to make the negative form of verbs in plain speech. In this case, required because yeah, nai is an adjective, so we can drop the e to add ku to make the adverbial form. In this case, required by naru, the following naru, to become accented on its own. To become, yeah, even also with the naru, even more so, would make sense to use the potential form because yeah, it's typical this usage. Become able, or in this case unable to do the action of the verb appear before it in its in an adverbial form. But yeah, this expression as mentioned is straight up an expression, would mean out of control, out of a hand. That would be great also to remember that why we use the te, unmanageable, nothing one can do. So yeah, literally a hand can't be applied. A hand, so figuratively, of course, in the sense in doing something can be applied, however you want to translate scaru, added, even simply. And then the kunaru, as mentioned, why, become literally unable, and so on. So yeah, the translation here is if it rages by getting angry, let's say, or you could say if it gets angry and rages, either would work, honestly, or when. It becomes out of control, out of hand, yeah, so that at the bottom we have already seen to the next with the A button. Yeah, we press it. We won't give it a nickname. So I wanted to come here to get at least that. Okay, no. As soon as I say it, okay, we have another monkey. This one we won't catch, we already have one. I might actually take it as a chance to slightly train our Pokemon. Ooh, okay. That's too early. Okay, this worked. I wanted to show this for sure. Niramitsukeru. I wonder if I find it as is in the dictionary. Oh yeah, anyway, regardless, it's clearly a compound verb. Actually, I could make it straight up present as is. It comes from niramu. On its own, I want to see the accent, if I could press it here. Thank you. Okay, accented on its own. To glare at, or other similar translation, to scowl at, to glower at, to stare intensely at. Also, oh yeah, these are the fundamental meanings. So to look at someone, glaring or staring them intensely, and so on. Other extended meanings, but let's focus on this. In particular, to glare at, in our case, verb and verb, we can change the U into E to make the conjunctive form. In this case, required to add the second verb part of the compound, scaru again. And yeah, when found as the second verb part of the compound, we've seen that it can have the meanings to do intensely, fiercely, to do strongly, or to be used to be accustomed to. In our case, clearly the first one. So technically, while niramitsukeru is likely accented like tsukeru, there are exceptions, unfortunately. Means to glare at, to scowl at. I'd say technically in Japanese, intensely. That's why we have the tsukeru. Oh yeah, in general, to glare at. So yeah, that's the attack. I think we have seen this before. Well, we have seen the structure in general, but I wanted to point out, Bulbasaur's defense power, Bogyo Ryoku. Yeah, Bogyo defense, as we have seen, with Ryoku, literally strength. And we have seen that when added as a suffix, luckily, it's always accented the word before Ryoku. So we have that. Perfect. I wanted to quickly check Bogyo, which we have seen in this series. I think accent on the first syllable. Okay, and it is perfect. I wanted to quickly check. But yeah, the defense strength went down. Yeah, I've actually seen it before, but I wanted to repeat it. Okay, now that I've done that, I'll actually lower its attack quickly, also once. Here it continues reducing our defense, but it doesn't matter because my purpose, if it wasn't clear enough from this setup, is actually to send not this. We should have seen this part before. Oh yeah, we'll replace Bulbasaur with PG, Poppo, reducing our defense. Oh yeah, we'll straight up attack here. Unfortunately for now we only have tackle. Really unfortunate also considering that its attack yeah, if it weren't clear already, although of course the most if you have already played Pokemon games before, it's a bird, it's a flying type Pokemon, PG, normal flying actually. So we get also stab at the same time, attack bonus also with tackle here. But yeah, if we had a flying type move, would have been the best. Oh yeah, we actually got some experience and noticed that it actually got split between the two Pokemon. Oh yeah. For now, I'll actually heal. And then we'll take our usual break, 5 minutes, most likely less. And then when we'll be back, we'll actually go up, so start tackling Route 2. Oh yeah, perfect, everyone is healed. I actually think I might actually stop by the shop a second to get more Pokeballs. But yeah, let's save just to be completely sure. Oh yeah, see you in around 5 minutes. And we are back. Yeah, so we can now continue. Okay. As mentioned, first let's go to the shop. Buy a couple more Pokeballs. Yeah, only 3 is too little. Five could be enough. Although not too risky. Actually, I want to show a certain something already, so yeah, I get 10. By the way, with yeah, it says actually we haven't seen this before, I think. So a good thing I actually came here to the shop also for this. Yeah, the description we have already seen. Yeah, first it says, well, we have, well, on the top left we have already seen our Okotsukai, as in the pocket money, the allowance. So yeah, funny enough that, but that we have already seen. That's second in the middle. On the left we have Motteru Kazu. Yeah, Motteru from Motsur dimension to hold the form, and then the Ru, so actually Iru contracted, so are holding, possess then, or have simply, before a noun, so actually in attributive position, noun which is Kazu, number, amount, yeah, it's the fundamental word for number, accented on the first mora, and then we have the number itself, and then ko in katakana, but yeah, it's ko as in the counter. We've seen technically for items in general, things in general. More specifically would be small things, or also pieces. With ko, if I recall correctly, should be accented always before ko itself, but we'll quickly check it. Yeah, we've seen it before, but okay, they're all before it. Yeah, I remember correctly, so pretty easy. On the right, still in the middle, we have how many we want. The x technically would be multiplication, in this case, I would say. So my guess would be that in Japanese it would be pronounced as kakeru. Kakeru is the verb used for multiplications, to multiply. Yeah, by the way, it's the usual kakeru, which we have actually seen as to hang up, to let hang, and so on, to put on by extension. Yeah, it has many extended meanings, including this one, to multiply, and so yeah, as in the arithmetic operation. Most likely my guess would be that x is a multiplication, and so actually in Japanese I would pronounce it as kakeru. Something, kakeru, and then the other number, in our case 10, as we want that. We have 2000 yen. Yeah, we've already seen the the kanji, we've studied it thanks to this very series. With N, unfortunately, I can confirm the accent of bigger numbers, which are actually the ones that you will find usually with N. My guess is, considering that most of them are actually unaccented, as we have seen before, well, most, well, technically most, a good, my guess would be also this, 2000 is Nisen in Japanese, so yeah, 2 and then the number for 1000, which is Sen. Let me see if I can find also its accent. In the famous part we have seen here of the physical dictionary, this one, the one for the counters, also with those. Oh yeah, that of course I can find. Sen on its own accent on the Se. And luckily also all the numbers before it, so yeah, 2000, 3000, all accented on Sen. With the 3 it becomes also voiced because of the N. Yeah, as a reminder, again, unsurprisingly, that the N is what causes it. And also notice that the San, of course, being of Chinese origin, is earlier than the Yon used nowadays, which is of strictly Japanese origin, used nowadays instead of Shi. So yeah, actually the San usually is the one that makes following counters voiced. San Zen in our case. Again, because most likely voiced consonants, yeah, in Japanese, in classical Japanese, were actually also prenasalized, so it would be Nzen. So yeah, that so that's why the N of San influenced that because of that. But yeah, here we have Nisen, N. I guess would be an accented Nisen N, based on the accent of most numbers with N. And then at the bottom, it says, the clerk says, the shop assistant says, Monster boru o ikutsu okayage ni narimasu ka? Monster boru, the item we're buying, the object particle o. Ikutsu. Yeah, this is actually quite important because it means how many. Specifically how many. Notice that I didn't say how much. So there technically is the distinction like in English. More specifically, technically, this iku and the tsu. This one with the tsu. Notice that yeah, the tsu is actually again the general purpose counter of strictly Japanese origin. Iku is an interrogative, which means how, as in how many, in our case here, how much with the other word for that, which is actually ikura. So we had ra instead. Most likely the ra should be the pluralizing suffix, or actually used also for also as a rough indicator of direction, location, amount. So yeah, for that reason, still accented on the first mora, also that ikura. But yeah, so how, as in how many, how much, and so on. that iku, of strictly Japanese origin, by the way. On its own, an accent iku. But yeah, here ikutsu. How many? Then we have okayage. From kayageru. Compound verb, of course. From kau, to buy, the simple one, the fundamental verb for to buy, to purchase, unaccented. We can change the u into i to make the corresponding the continuative form, and so to then attach the second verb part of the compound. Ageru, unaccented, to give. Well, strictly speaking, we have studied its kanji of that one. To raise, to elevate. By extension, more often than not, we have seen it as to give. But yeah, this kayageru actually accented, so be careful, unlike ageru on its own. Can simply mean to buy, to purchase. Technically, it says also to buy of a government, public agency, and so on from a private citizen. But yeah, here simply to purchase, or would be to buy up all of something. Yeah, in that sense, actually, should be because of a meaning of ageru as the second verb part of the compound. Here I suspect simply to buy, to purchase, a more sophisticated form, because I actually notice we have the first the honorific prefix o, then we have the verb kayageru into its we drop verb its verb ageru and also okayageru. We can drop the ru to make the continuative form. In this so the corresponding noun, here I'd say simply in the in form, required actually, because then we had ni, to, into, and yeah, required by the verb naru again to become into. We change the u into i. Naru is a verb colon verb to make the continuative form, in this case to add mass. And so actually this form o plus continuative form of the verb ni naru is actually one of the ways to make the honorific, as in respectful, form of a verb, unless it there are other ones, and there are also verbs that straight up replace get replaced by honorific verbs. But yeah, this is the fundamental way to one of the most common ways to make an honorific, as in respectful specifically, and so actually because we are the client, so we deserve respect. It's the matter of uchi soto, as mentioned. Uchi inside the interior would be the shop as a whole. Soto is the client, and yeah, who is soto is the one that we should use respectful language towards for their actions. Even technically, if they weren't there, in our case, even more so, straight up the one he's speaking to, but yeah. Just to add, I kind of mentioned some of these concepts before, but yeah, these are quite important when we see for respectful honorific language in Japanese in general. But yeah. last but not least, K as the interrogative final sentence particle, interrogative particle to make it a question. We also have the question mark here. Oh yeah, so the translation is how many Monster Ball Pokeballs will, so I'd say present used as a simple future, will you buy? Oh yeah, we buy 10, it's mentioned. Then it says, Monster Ball ですね。10個で2000円になりますが、first we have Monster Ball again. です。The copula in polite speech. Then we have the technically the final sentence particle ね。Which yeah, we could still translate as the usual right. It's also used in other expressions technically. Kind of like a suspension. I'm thinking in particular, if I can find it here, of so ですね. Which in that case it's actually used technically. Yeah, technically would be that's so, isn't it? I had to state up that. But in usage, actually, I've seen it also used. For example, when someone is thinking of someone who has been asked a question and they're thinking of an answer. So I feel like it could be technically also in that sense. Either way, we could simply keep it as its fundamental literal meaning. It's what you want to buy. Monster balls, aren't they? Then it says 10個で yeah, we have a numeral plus counter again. With the 10 it becomes 10個. Technically could also be 10個, but yeah, in spoken Japanese now usually it's 10個, accented before the ko, already as mentioned, but yeah, that's lucky that isn't an issue with the accent for ko. Then we have this de. Technically, you could say a particle that shows the quantity, and then we have the rest of the sentence. I'd say more easily, so it's even easier to remember technically. And my guess is that that's the origin simply. De is the form of the copula, cioè being 10 units of 10 items, 10 things. And then we have the rest. It says 2000 yen, Nissan yen, ni into, to into, and yeah, again required by narimasu. In translation, technically, you could say it is, yeah, literally in Japanese, it becomes, yeah. What's worth mentioning, narimasu, we have already seen, so I won't mention that again, it's that ga at the end. We've seen that technically it would mean it's a conjunction, which means but. Can also be translated as and in some contexts, and it's also used as an after an introductory remark or explanation. But the other usage, and can be seen here straight up, found at the end of a sentence, it's because there's actually something else that the person should say, but is implied. Yeah, it's implied simply because it's clear based on the context, and or could be both. It would be rude to say it explicitly. Clearly, what's implied here is they 10 become 2,000 yen. What's implied? Will you buy it? Them then? Yeah, clear from the context, as we have already mentioned before, that we are buying. We said the quantity, but also, yeah, because it would be kind of rude in a way, in the sense, of course, that saying it explicitly, it could be kind of like putting pressure on the person. By the way, notice that yeah, we use that, and then we have the rising tone of the question, marked here with the question mark. Oh yeah, we'll actually say yes. And yeah, he says, Hi, dozo. Maido, arigato gozaimasu. First we have hi, the usual, the basic way to say yes in Japanese, except on the ha, on the first mora. Dozo, which we have already seen, comes from do, part of the Kosodo series, with the additional u, so actually long vowel, long o. In what way? So yeah, how, then also simply. With this zo, technically it's the final sentence particle nowadays on its own used as main term or language. Here, technically, simply I'd say with its meaning to add force or simply emphasis. This dozo actually means please. Please also in the sense of by all means and so on. Or in our case here, here you are. Because of that, used like in this case when handing over something to someone. Yes, here you are. Sending us our Pokeballs. Then we have this Maido arigato gozaimasu. This expression. Well, it comes from Maido. Literally, Maido unaccented. Chinese compound, so actually not surprising. Means each time. So then, actually, every time. Though we have seen it as a counter for times, so yes, or occurrences, however. So unsurprising. Mai is the one that is the Chinese character that gives the meaning of each. Each time, every time. Used in this expression. Maido arigato gozaimasu. After it we have the usual arigato gozaimasu. Thank you. Literally, as we have seen, to be grateful, because arigato comes from arigatai. Literally, to be difficult to exist, and so actually as in something rare, and so worth of being thankful for that thing. Then conjugating arigataku, continuative form of the adjective, and I used then to add gozaimasu, gozaru, honorific form of aru, to be assumed to exist, but also used for conjugation of the adjectives. And then we have the gataku, the k drops, so gatau, and then because of the evolution of the language, that became to, actually with an open o, specifically to distinguish it from to u, closed o, to. Now they are the same. But that's why we have this. So arigato gozaimasu, thank you. Literally for each time. for implied, but yeah, each time. And so yeah, this expression, Maido arigato gozaimasu. Thank you, as says the dictionary, for your continued patronage. Thank you for your support. Oh yeah. So typical expression for shops. Oh yeah, technically used. Can be straight up, by the way, shortened into Maido on its own. Yeah, that becomes, of course, familiar language in the without the full form. Oh yeah, used technically for, to regular customers. Technically also entering, but let's say more leaving. Yeah, after especially after they actually supported the shop. But yeah, quickly and press that. This we have seen before, I think. Yeah, I think we have seen it before. I still translated just to be sure at the very least. In addition to that, other than that, more literally, with us, actually being us, as in us, the shop, is there something that we literally can become strength, so can help you with? Yeah, we've seen that before. I say again, yeah, nothing, but yeah, in that case, yeah, we'll leave. Okay, so we can at the very least start Route 2. Yeah, here it is. We'll quickly mention it. Its Japanese name is pretty easy, Niban Doro again. Niban, again, numera plus counter, literally number 2, then this should be still accented. We've seen that most, there are some exceptions with ban which become unaccented. We've actually seen several because of Super Mario World. Yeah, Ni should be accented. I want to still check it just to be completely sure. Yeah, there it is, Niban. Perfect. Doro, we have seen in this series, it means road, technically also highway, but yeah, in our case simply road. Are the routes here in Pokemon games. Accented on the first Mora, it's a Chinese compound, but one of those. I wanted to quickly mention, more than that, its location in relation to the real world. Route 2 would be in the position of Chichibu City. Technically a city, but yeah, clearly not in the Pokemon games, but yeah, the location would be that. With it's a city, so in Japanese with Chichibu-shi. And yeah, we've seen before that when using the suffix shi, the accent is before she itself. Oh yeah, there it is. I've also found it, so pretty easy. And it's part, that city of Saitama Ken, so the Saitama Prefecture. We'll see also these all these parts of the Japan, the prefectures in particular, actually. If we eventually play Bakeru as yet. It's a really good game for that. In a while, let's say, because of all the kanji that are in it. Sorry. I wanted to mention that when we had ken, the most common prefix for prefecture, there are other ones for specific ones. But yeah, most of them use ken, and the accent is always before ken, so pretty easy. So yeah, Saitama ken. But yeah, let's check this sign. Funny enough, it starts with Koko wa Niban Doro. Cioè, again, as for here, it's implied that route number 2, road number 2. And it says Tokiwashi. Technical suspension dots, but yeah, here actually to connect the two technically in a way. Nibi Shiti, yeah, it connects Tokiwashi, Viridian City, to Pewter City, Nibi Shiti. We'll check its meaning in Japanese and also its location when we get to it. Pretty easy there. We've already checked the tree there. While we were in the city, we have this patch of grass. We'll actually then tackle it. Okay, we have a ratta. Not the best. I already regret having... okay, good thing I actually did that also to show this. I chose Nigeru to escape, to flee, to run away, and so on, accented. And here it says Umaku Nigekireta. First we have Umaku, no, Umai. Umai means good. As in, more specifically would be skillful, and so then good, but in that sense, expert, and so on. By dropping the E, we make the adverb. This one is accented, so actually the accent moves on the U, then umai on the ma, the second to last mora. For the adverbial form, it moves on the third to last, as mentioned, so yeah, umaku. Well, simply. And then we have this Nigekireta. Shouldn't find it as is in the dictionary, which is unfortunate for the sake of checking its accent. I'll have to check in the physical dictionary then. Again, Nigeru, again. Verb with some verb, we drop the ru, make the continuative form, and then to add the second verb part of the compound, kireru. Technically, to break, to snap, to be cut, more literally, that would be the fundamental meaning. It literally uses the kanji for kiru, to cut. Kiru, the transitive. Transitive in U, intransitive in Eru, some of these also. Yeah, to be cut, but yeah, then to break, to snap, and so on. Split, to crack. In this case, well, by extension, it's worth mentioning that it can also mean to wear off, to stop working, to expire of a time limit, to run out of stock, and so on. But here, actually, when used as the second verb part of the compound, it becomes the meaning to be able to do completely. So my guess is actually simply from that to be exhausted technically, to that running out, so it was worth mentioning also for that. But yeah, actually, as in the sense to be be able to do completely. Let me check if I can find the accent of it. I have doubts. My guess would be hopefully accented like Kirairu on its own, as you have seen most should follow that rule. Or at least it's a tendency, but yeah, we've seen exceptions. Let's see if I can find it. After all these yo, the Yagyo, the Yaro, Kireru. Okay, found it there. But yeah, on its own, so yeah, unfortunate. We can confirm it. But yeah, so Kireru and also so this compounding Kireru. Ru verb is some verb, so yeah, we can split up the Ru to make the continuative form and then attach the ta to make it a form, and so past form of the verb in plain speech. So you were able to run away well. So I wanted to do that for two reasons, technically. Although, you know, I actually, okay, I'll put PG first. Yeah, not that. Let's choose this option. Narabi Kai. I can mention also this while we're already here. Narabi Kai from Narabi Kairu. Narabu. I think we might have seen it actually in Pokemon Snap, but yeah. Narabu on its own to line up, to stand in a line and so on. It's actually the intransitive form of the verb, unaccented. You can change the U into it to make the continuative form, to then add the second verb part of the compound. Kairu, unaccented. This one specifically is the one which means to change as in more to replace. Yeah, so with change the lining up, cioè this Narabi Kairu, can't find the accent unfortunately, hope it's unaccented like Kairu. Regardless, it means to reorganize, rearrange. Yeah, you can see it even better with that. To put things in order. Better technique to reorganize, rearrange, because that's why we have this Kairu for that change. Yes, is by choosing it actually. Then it says Doko ni idou shimasu ka? Doko, which place, what place, so where, particle ni, to, ido, we've seen it before in this very series, Chinese compound, which means movement, unaccented, lucky, like most Chinese compounds, of course noun, but we can make the verb by adding the verb suru, to do, yeah, as we can see here, cioè to move. Suru, completely irregular verb, so we have to remember that its continuative form is si, and then here to add then mass, and then also the ka, the interrogative sentence particle. Oh yeah, we choose that. Oh yeah, it's simply that. Let's. I wanted to at least tackle one battle here. Okay, we start with that instead. We have Kyatapi, which I'm pretty sure we have actually checked its name because of an NPC in Viridian City. yeah, we actually use a tackle here. For PG here. Okay, we actually got a critical hit. I use a Pokeball immediately. Okay. Perfect. And a relatively higher level than I wanted to. I fled from the Rattata to find a higher level 1, while we actually found Caterpie and got Caterpie. We'll check its Pokédex page here. Caterpie, the name Caterpillar, from Caterpillar. Imomushi Pokemon. We've already seen Imomushi because of that NPC mentioned it. Literally, potato or tuber better in general. Imo, accent on the last syllable. Then Mushi, an accented bug, as an insect. All kinds of insects. In our case, more specifically, worm. So yeah, Imomushi. The accent is on the mo of the Imo. Could be because of it, or also as a spot of the accent of in compounds. Imomushi. Hornworm, specifically. Caterpillar of hawk moth. Or more in general, technically, hairless caterpillar. A caterpillar, actually, also in general. Yeah, its height, weight there. As for what it says, the Pokédex, it says Midori no Hifuni o Wareteru. First we have Midori. Which I think we might have seen. We have straight up seen it before, thanks to in Super Mario World, because of the switch of the button and the blocks. Midori means green. Usually as in the color. By extension, it can also be technically greenery, verdure. Most likely, actually, that's the original meaning. Nowadays, usually used as the color. Technically, a noun. Can be used straight up for the noun. With the possessive particle, no, we make the corresponding. We make structure, noun plus possessive particle, no, in practice, an adjective. So, green. Something. Hifu, in this case. Hifu means skin. Technically more than our classic skin, because human skin of the body, we would say that in the human body usually hada, accent on the first more. This one skin technically still. A Chinese compound. Accent on the first more, this one, so it's the most common accent for that. Then we have the particle ni. By, in this case, we'll see why in a second. Because we have Owareteru from O. O means to cover. Unaccented, okay. To cover. Then also to hide, to conceal, to wrap, to disguise. The fundamental meaning is to cover. U verb and verb, so we can change the U into A. And notice that it becomes qua here because actually the verbs in U were actually in pu, but then the P became, if not at the start of the word, became w. So wa, we, u, that one simply dropped it. We, wo. Only the y remains, so that's why. We change the u into a and then add reru again to make the, in this case specifically, passive form of the verb. Passive form is a verb with some verb, so we can drop the ru to add the te and then iru, so continuing action or state. In this case, clearly state. Is covered by. Then he is used in with passive verbs with the meaning by. So technically the agent, but here of course not. I don't remember now the word, but you got it. By in that sense. It's covered by a green skin. Then it says Dappi shite seicho suru to ito kakete sanagi ni kawaru. First we have Dappi. Which is a Chinese compound. And I noticed that, by the way, that P actually is he. We can see above for hifu. It's the same kanji in Japanese. The strictly Japanese term is kawa, accent on the last mora, which means skin. That one usually in the sense of hide, pelt, fur. Again, against skin, as in the skin of humans, hada. He is the same. Actually, P was the original form. Here is kept because of the preceding doubling of the consonant. In the first term, it became he because of the evolution of the language. At the start of a word, papi, pupe, po became ha, he, hu, he, ho. By the way, if you wonder why we have he, fu above, that's because actually it's not it's a compound of Chinese origin, so we keep that as if fu can be considered on its own, unlike the wa originally pa in the verb of strictly Japanese origin. This dappi means literally undressing or removing in this case, more in general, or escaping from the skin. Chinese compound, an accent, actually, like most of those. So it's the shedding of skin. Ecdysis, not sure how it's pronounced in English, but that would be my guess. So it's typical of animals, technically. By extension, simply freeing oneself, breaking with convention, and so on. Noun, we can make the verb by adding suru. Here it's the form shite. I'd say most likely here by doing that, the action of the verb, or simply doing the action of the verb and the rest of the sentence. Then we have seicho, to grow. Well, technically again, growth, as in the noun, Chinese compound, unaccented luckily, like most of those. Yeah, we had the verb suru again, to grow. Then we have to again, so if when. Then we have ito. Check its accent, but it means thread, yarn, string. Thread more in general. Accent on the first more, yes, so I remember correctly. Object particle kakete, again kakeru in this case. We could say simply putting, yeah, in this case it's kakeru technically in the sense of putting on technically. Put on top of, to cover. The form of the verb, again, so verb is a verb. And then we have this term sanagi. Yeah. You might have guessed based on the context what it means. Yeah. It's a chrysalis, a pupa. Its accent is unaccented, okay. It's actually a term of strictly Japanese origin. Nowadays, usually written, not sure actually if it isn't even mentioned in the dictionary if it's usually written with kanji, with kana instead of kanji. I guess so, considering that technically the kanji is of how it's not part of the Joyo kanji, everyday usage kanji. Oh yeah. Chrysalis, pupa. Particle ni, to, into. Oh yeah, required by the verb kawaru. To change. Oh yeah, this is the intransitive form of the verb. I notice, yeah. Ka-eru, eru, transitive. Aru, intransitive, so yeah, the one in aru most likely actually a passive form of in classical Japanese. This one in wa, notice most likely the ka-eru was actually ka-we-ru, and then that changed, but this one remained. But yeah, so the translation is simply if, when actually, but it grows by shedding its skin would be technically. Then it says, even though it's weird in this case considering what happens after, but that seems to be what it says there. Oh yeah, it changes into a chrysalis pupa by putting on thread, yarn, better of course in our case technically, silk, but actually better thread more in general. But yeah, so that's the translation. And we want to give a nickname. We actually go to here. Oh yeah, I'd say we can end it here. But yeah, as you have seen, this part of because yeah, there's actually another part of Route 2. We've actually checked it all apart from that building, which we'll check out next time then. But yeah, let's go down, let's heal. Oh yeah, nice that we got another Pokemon. And yeah, here, especially here, that poor Caterpie and also the PP is in the moves of our Pidgey in particular. Oh yeah, we actually save here then. Pokemon Center. This will check eventually the message here for saving. Oh yeah, we can close the game. And yes, so today we finished checking the little that there was in Route 22. Yeah, it's blocked for now because we don't have more badges. We don't have any badges, actually. We don't have the, in particular, the gray badge in Japanese. We left it, then actually came back to catch at least one Pokemon, a Mankey. Checked out the shop. We finally purchased at least an item there, so we got to see that. And then we started Route 2. Yeah, we technically have already tackled that small part there. We caught a Pokemon, a Caterpie. Oh yes, so next time, which will be on Friday, because actually on Wednesday we'll start a different Let's Learn Japanese with series. Yeah, we'll do so since you have seen that Pokémon FireRed will take us a while. So yeah, to avoid another month, or most likely actually months of exclusively FireRed, we'll start alternating it with a new series, with other Let's Learn Japanese with series. FireRed, since it's long, better to keep it on both Monday and Friday. Oh yeah, on Wednesday we'll start the new Let's Learn Japanese with series, in particular Super Mario Bros. 2, as in Super Mario USA. Yeah, the Super Mario Bros. 2 International one. In its Super Mario Advance version. On Friday, we'll continue this game, and yeah, we continue FireRed, and yeah, we'll enter that building and continue then the game from there. But yeah, see you next time.